It's time for Geocache Talk. Whether you are at work, in the car, or wherever you are, we hope you enjoy this show about the great sport of geocaching. If you're watching live on YouTube, you can be part of the adventure tonight in the chat room and participate with others as they watch the show. If you are listening later, please give it a like and subscribe on your favorite podcasting app so that you can get all of the weekly Geocache Talk goodness. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Big thanks to Derek, Baker 6 Clan, and our featured patrons, Cash Addict Mel, Janice Tricashius, The Bruce Zero, EGK PBR, Albedo 0.39, Purple Turtles 3, ACDC Family, None of It Tidy, Carrot Killer, and our new patrons, Hailmeister, RJ Elder, KC0AOO, and DJB Tex. So let's get right into the show with tonight's guest is Semmels123. Ryan, welcome back to the show.
Well, hello.
Hello, sir. Good to have you with us tonight.
Yes, because we're not going to talk to each other this week.
No, not going to see each other at all.
We will see everybody. We'll see you guys all week long, which is good. I miss seeing you guys. So, all right. So we got a big show tonight. Let's do a couple. We got a couple notes. I know people are one of two things, Jesse. They're either really tired of hearing about Cache Fest and they don't ever want to hear about it again, or they can't wait for any kind of information about Cache Fest. So it's kind of a mix of maybe there's a lot of people getting to head to the event tomorrow. Some people are already on their way. Some people are leaving after the show. There's a lot of people in the chat room already doing that. So
I know quite a few that are already on their way.
Yeah. The champions are already there. So Bounce and family are there. So so there's a we can't wait. So Curious KDBs, all the info. So thank you guys. So Tony's fairly local, so he's didn't travel very far. I don't know, Tony, how far is it from you to Shelby Farms? Can't be very far for him. So he's semi-local. But hopefully those that aren't going, hopefully they're at least gleaning a little bit, and look up glean if you don't know what gleaning is, but hopefully they're harvesting a little bit of information about megas, whether they want to either put one on themselves, whether they want to go to one someday, what they're about. Should I go to one? I mean, that's for another show, but so a couple quick notes. One thing we want to mention is that we've got, if you are staying in the area, I do want to mention the hotel room thing. So if you could help us out, if you are staying in town and you're not staying, yes, up on the screen right now we have for you WWCF Worldwide Cache Fest hotels, all one word, @gmail.com. Send us, and we don't need vital details. We just need, send us an email and just say, we're staying at this hotel and here are the nights that we're staying there. And that will help us with the Memphis Tourism Bureau. We want to get some demographics to them, because they really want to know. I mean, we're sort of a test for them. I mean, do they want, how much do they want to support geocaching in Memphis? And so they want to know.
It shows the power of the geocaching dollar, the caching cat, the geocaching cash. There's got to be a joke there somewhere. It shows the power of geocachers coming into town. We want to show them what kind of difference it makes, and so they roll out the red carpet in future years, maybe.
Yes, and
it helps other megas.
Yeah,
it's not just for this one. This one's over in a few days, right? But it's the potential in the area for the future.
Yeah, I mean, we're there, as you know, there's no secret. We're going to have to evaluate after this one's over. Do we do this again in Memphis? Do we move Cache Fest somewhere else? Do we do, you know, there's always discussion as to what we might do in the future. We might do another one in Memphis. That's a very possibility, but we need to know. So help us out. Please tell us where you're staying. If it's an Airbnb, I know Dee says that we necessarily can't add that to our official list but I think it also does help, because we can show the Memphis Tourism Bureau that yes, we got people even staying in Airbnbs, even though it technically, I guess, doesn't really help them a whole lot, but that's okay.
Any information helps because it's data, right?
Right. Excellent. Yeah.
And, you know, it helps us know, you know, what accommodations people are making. So if we are going to, the whole reason we're doing Cache Fest in the first place is just like the first Worldwide Cache Fest, we're trying to provide value where we can, just like we do with the show and everything else. Well, you know, if there's 1,000 people that are, you know, staying in hotels and only 2 Airbnbs, we know in future endeavors where we need to have something. We know what's valuable to people. So any bit of that information helps us in the future to provide value, which we're trying to do.
Yes. Yes, Lori. Yep. If you're staying at the host hotel, that's covered. We got that one covered. They will provide that information to Memphis Tourism. So we're good on that. Oh, Curious KDB is you're only out 5.5 hours away. That's pretty cool.
But he's got a couple days of geocaching to do, so he's not going to be there quick.
She's coming a long way from, you know, she's only 5.5 hours away. I'm not even 5. I'm more than 5.5 hours away. So she's getting close. So
keep in mind, she says she's got 5.5 hours, but that's 5.5 hours of drive time.
That's true. You got to add in some. So Tony isn't as close as I thought he was. Oh well. So he's leaving tomorrow. Okay, cool, Tony. That's awesome. Another item is, if you're interested in a tree climb, and this is a very unique tree climb. It's called Vertical Madness GC3, P as in puzzle, B as in bison, H as in hike, and R as in rating. GC3PBHR. Then you need to contact us, I guess. Is that the email address will be on the
contact
bottom.
The owner.
Do we contact the owner direct? Okay.
Yeah. The CO is aware that people are trying to do it, so he's trying to arrange times.
Okay.
He's going to be able to meet some people, but he can't meet everybody. And there's a lot of tools that are required to do this. You cannot, as Derek has told us, you know, Derek's been, you cannot just shimmy up this tree. This is a serious cache, and you need to have the right equipment to do it. The owner's going to be able to meet somebody, but he's still a regular person with a regular job. He can't just stand out there waiting on people. So he's going to try to arrange to meet some people, but this is a serious cache. It's not one of those you should take lightly. Yeah.
He has allocated a little bit of time on Wednesday and Friday morning next week. Yeah. So those are the times you can work with him. But yeah, it is literally a vertical climb, and it's not one you make without equipment. So you have to have the equipment. You better be prepared too, because you're going to be pulling yourself up the whole way. So Lori's got her group set for that. Okay. But you're literally pulling yourself the whole way up. You're doing this, and your arms will be a little tired afterward, I think.
You'll be a lot tired. I did
Derek's
it in I don't know. I'm a big boy to be pulling myself up a tree. So
Right.
I'm probably gonna pass on Vertical Madness this year.
Yeah. Think of it as just, it's like, there's nothing there except for you and a rope, and you're going to pull yourself up the whole way to get to this cache. So for those that want to, you can try to get that set up. Again, Wednesday and Friday morning of next week are the times that you would possibly want to do that. All right. So good deal with that. Okay. Also, a quick note on good. That's good. Thanks, Derek. Premium parking literally is the name of the app. Premium parking, premiumparking.com. There's an app out there. If you're going to be in the Memphis area, we suggest you download the premium app. It looks like this. If you pull it up, I don't know. It looks different. Obviously, probably, maybe not. I don't know what it looks like on Android, but that's the icon on the iOS app. The one that says the red P for premium. But the Shelby Farms app is a little outdated, so I don't know if you really want to download that, but I did download it. But you do want also the Literati app. So Literati is the app that we are using. Look at all the trash that's been picked up on Literati. 18 million pieces of trash. That's awesome. Literati is what we are using for our CacheFest, trashfest.com at John F. Kennedy Park, which is in Memphis. So it's just west of Shelby Farms. So again, John F. Kennedy Park, for me currently is 382 miles away, but hopefully for you it'll be close. But that's the app we're using. CacheFest, TrashFest 2022 is the CETO on Sunday. So we really encourage you to, you don't have to, obviously, but we were asking if you would, to download the app and to use this app while you're at the CETO. And it's just it's very simple to log trash. You basically just take a picture and click boom, and you're done. And you can log. I know it's a little extra time, but this will be cool. We're hoping to pick up 1,000 pieces of the trash. And from what Derek tells me, there's 1,000 pieces of trash at John F. Kennedy Park. He was out there and he said, yeah, we'll be able to pull that off. So that is the app but we want you to sort of be ready, and we want you to download this app. It's kind of cool. I mean, we're geocaching for trash. So approved. We ran this by HQ, and it's been approved, which I think is cool. I don't think anybody else has ever used an app for CETO. So we're, again, breaking new ground. That's our thing. That's what we do.
That may be a part of the official CETO procedures in the future. It
could be. Yep. Burnt Turtle says he's used it a few times already. That's cool. So, yeah, Husker Medic, I like your idea. I like the idea of heckling from the ground. So I do definitely go out there, and you can either cheer them on or you can heckle them from the ground. One of the two. So that's good.
Won't be.
I think I'll pick climb the tree, but
you do it either way. So all right, cool. I think we are done with news or notes. So let's jump right into another episode of Geocoin Talk. This is number 2, and the jury's still out. I know Ryan would love to see Geocoin Talk all the time, right, Ryan?
I'll see it every month if you let it. I'll show you every time.
Right. I hear you. Well, we shall see. Currently, we're having another one. So there you go. There's another one. I know that Chris Mackey, who's very famous for making his coins, Mackey will probably be on the next one in August. So at least one more Geocoin after this. So Geocoin Talk.
Well, and really what we need to hear is, what do people want to hear? What do people need information about? If you want to, we all love Ryan, but
we do.
If you really want to hear more about Geocoins, let us know. We're trying to bring the information that everybody wants. Just let us know what you want. We'll find it.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. Please email us. Let us know one way or the other. If you don't want to ever hear about Geocoin Talk again, that's fine. Let us know. We just really
cry, but and then Gary will just replace it with waymarking talk after that. Gary can host that one.
Well, maybe not, but and it is a little bit of a misnomer. Geocoin Talk is going to cover other things that are trackable. So all things trackable.
Well, this episode we're going to.
Absolutely. So trackable talk, I don't think really works.
I don't know. I kind of like that.
You like trackable talk? Maybe we make it trackable talk. I don't know. We're pretty open.
Path tags
path tag talk.
Well, I'm saying aren't trackable, so it can't be trackable talk.
Oh, that's true.
They're kind of reverse trackable, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
see, now Pizza Ninja is the smart one. Look.
Where I go talk.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh boy. Wow. We have 3 viewers.
We'd break the internet. We don't need to do that. Netflix already did that with Stranger Things finale. They broke the internet, so
they broke it, right? Well, okay. Let's jump in. So Ryan, kind of give people a little bit of a synopsis of what we're going to cover tonight.
So I did talk to a couple people because I talk to people about geocoins as often as I can. And one of the things most people talk about is more or less, how do I get started with making a coin or some sort of trackable device, trackable coin.
Right.
Like we were saying, coins, path tags. There's companies out there that do all these different things. So we're just going to go through that and talk some of the starting aspects of that.
I like it. Yeah, because for many people, they would like to make a coin. They have no idea what to do. I mean,
exactly.
Trust me, I've been in that boat before when we were talking about making our very first Geocache Talk coin. I mean, we had to ask around. I mean, where do you go? What do you do? How is this process even done? Yep. How do you make one? How do you design one? And so we got some tips, tricks, pitfalls. I've got a funny story about path tag back when I was on Cache and Release, that we didn't make it. We never actually made this particular path tag, but it was a major failure, and I'm glad we didn't ever make it because this would not have been good.
I would be curious to know how many people have started the path tag or coin process and bailed.
That would be interesting. Yes.
I'm involved in that. I have to count myself among those.
Yeah. So anyway, let's dive in, Ryan. Where do you want to start? You want to start with where do you get started? Is that a good?
A lot of it's asking yourself questions, and one of the questions, we're talking. Me and Memphis were talking before the show. What's the goal of the project? So when I say project, that is the coin or whatever product you're going to use. So what is the goal of that project? As everybody knows, we've done quite a few event coins. So my first event coin, actually the first coin I produced was actually,
which is incredible. Show people that it moves. That I love. That's one of my favorite coins. Is the
speaking of next month, this is a Mackie produced or design coin.
Right.
So then you have the backside, which is the city can.
Yeah, that's an awesome coin too, and I think that's probably what you just showed is probably not the spinning part, but the event coin is probably what most people see first when you're getting into geocaching. The first coins you see, I'd say the majority of them are from larger events, right?
Yep. I know my first coin that I got was actually an organizational coin, but the first one I bought was for my first mega event when I was in Germany. And it's a Geocache, which was a little guy in a bathing suit. because it was a spa resort area. So that was my first coin. I still have it
How funny.
in my collectible. So
Very cool.
That coin is probably one of the most
Mm-hmm.
common. One of the other ones I know we talked about, and we have on the notes there, is commemorative. The first geo art I ever did actually had a coin created for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Geo art.
And this is a geo art one, which is it was Geocache Forever. It was a geo art over in Germany.
Oh, cool. Oh, yeah. I see Geocache at the top. Geocache Forever. Yep.
And
Nice.
it actually shows
Clever.
Geocache Forever is actually spelled out in the smileys.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, cool.
So commemorative, something like that. Another big one that I actually don't have any sitting right by is the Milestone Coins.
Oh, yeah. I've got a couple.
Really popular gift. People give to each other or caching friends when you hit a milestone of
Like
either
1,000
fine
times.
or high.
Yeah. Would you?
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Geo achievement coins are kind of fairly cool.
Yep. Those are pretty standard.
And they were gone for a little while, but the community spoke, and a couple of the coin producers had come back out with them, and
How much on the back?
has them on their site as well.
Yep, they're kind of cool.
I would. Would you consider for commemorative coins? Would you consider like a Geo Tour, or is that a whole separate category?
I would probably put that as a commemorative. It's probably become more of a category of its own because HQ has come up with Geo Tour coins, so they actually got the diamond now, where all the one side is the same. I know I got one of those back there. I actually have the HQ one back there. But Geo Tours and Geo Trails, they've been doing their own coins there for a while. Organizational coins can also be commemorative. We did our Flint Hills geocaching one.
So about organizational, are you talking about like state organizations?
Your state organizations, and I know I get my WSGA and TXGA coins every year. A lot of your state organizations, we have a local Flint Hills here. We could even go into organizations such as Geocache Talk.
Yep. Yeah.
I probably into that organizational. Other podcasts have theirs. So,
So
I think there's. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. I'll just say real quick. I wonder how many. And this is something that I guess we not really have an answer. But I wonder how many like Flint Hills. That's a little bit different because it's sort of an organizational coin, which I like.
It can cross over though.
It can, sure.
One of the other ones that you don't see as often, and I know the reason why, but because we know geocaching HQ's stance on nothing political, no causes. The one thing which again, I can't thank them enough for that. Keep that all crap out of our game. Even the good stuff, I'll take not having the good stuff to not have the bad stuff. This is the game. We want to have fun with it, right? But one area where you are allowed to do that is in Geocoin. Like they had an autism awareness one for a while. There was a diabetes one for a while.
Those were actually HQ promotions. They were
right. But they allowed that because it was a coin. It wasn't caching. It was different.
Yeah, they were actual promotions such as the one that just came out. I'm trying to remember which one it was now. They just awarded them last week. The Sasquatch ones.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
So,
promotional coins. There's your other. That would be a category too, as well, right?
And promotional coin has gone into a different route. If you look at, actually, I only think
they're more trackables now, right? They're less coins.
Yeah.
And
they're more of a tag. And I got a couple of samples of tags around over here. But they've gone to tags because they're easier to produce. As we know, people will go and get these promotion tags. And even though you sign saying that you're going to send it out in 2 weeks, you'll see it on eBay probably next week. So,
yeah. And I think we say coins a lot because that's the easiest thing. But that's really not truly what it is, right? Because I think one of the other promotionals was the whiskey one.
Trackable.
What was the whiskey one?
The tin
cup.
tin cup.
Well, that Ryan knows really well about that one.
Ryan got the real gold one, an actual gold.
But that one was not a coin or tag at all.
Yeah, tin cup.
Right, that was an actual shot glass.
Yeah, it's the lid that's on top of their bottles. So.
Yeah,
right.
And they made some trackable, and out they went.
Yep. I think we'll get to say more about it later, but when we say coin, I think it's fair to say that we're talking about anything with a trackable code on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except for people.
Yeah, that's a different category.
And I think we're going to keep like T-shirts and stuff like that out of it as well. Apparel.
Right.
I don't put apparel into it as much.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really different. Like or the trackable, it's on my car. I mean, that's sort of a different category completely.
And that's another discussion for another show, right? Or that's for another show.
That is for another show.
I don't have my glass, but I'm just drinking water tonight.
Okay.
But there's so many, we're splitting off and we're talking about coins and trackables, but there's a lot in the trackable world. Not just, I mean, obviously I'm trackable, my car is trackable, people's pets are trackable, there's all kinds of stuff, but we're talking more about like things that you would drop off somewhere in a cache, right?
Right.
Yeah,
What are those tags called, Ryan? I got a bunch of lackey tags.
Yeah. And these are just your regular tags. There's a couple different names for them. Depends on who they come from. HQ has a version they sell. And lackey tags is another category.
Here's another category: going caching cards, because they're trackable.
Cards, yeah. I used to see a lot of those. Those used to be really common.
Trust me, these cards are still. I still can keep getting people going. I was late, and I'm logging it. It's like, oh my gosh!
Not to throw a monkey wrench in it, but that actually falls between a coin and a path tag, in my opinion.
And they're actually a grandfathered item.
Oh, really?
Because you used to have, when you go to an event, a lot of times you go and you get, I know I have one here. So I have a Woodstock coin here from St. Louis. And this is a functional coin. It wasn't just a pretty coin. Another design.
Oh, yeah.
So let me
literally was functional.
And
it's like a gadget coin.
Yeah. So with the Woodstock in St. Louis, they went a lot with the core of discovery.
Mm-hmm.
And it came with an extra piece. So and you could actually work it to figure out the height and everything like that of elevation.
Right.
Well, back then, if you look at the GC or the tracking code on this one, you could get a proxy at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
So
which is cool.
That's HQ no longer allows a proxy to be made at the same time as your coin.
Interesting.
Really? So
you have to make your own, I guess, right? Because you can make your own proxy.
Yes. Well, I've done it with my. It's for another show, all my Glowforge stuff.
Yeah.
But the proxy, they stopped doing that one right around Woodstock in Cincinnati. When Memphis thinks it never existed because it made Giga.
Fake Giga.
Yeah.
So there's another difference too between the proxy and everything else, but there's another difference too. That trackable card that you had is not an individual trackable.
No,
you printed multiple cards with the same trackable number.
Correct.
Like sometimes people do pins, so you couldn't put that in a cache and let it go because the map would be crazy, right? People spot that and visit it, but they're not. You don't intend people to take that card and put it around the cache because it's probably in 100 different caches.
Right.
In that case.
Well,
it's like the pencils they used to have at Megas. They would have all the same ones. Well, somebody could discover that, but that's not an individual trackable.
Yeah. No, and I learned the hard way, and I think too this is my very first thing I made. I made this for 14er in Colorado, but it's the number behind me.
Yeah,
that number right there. That number right there. So people were, and this is something that's an educational thing we'll cover someday probably, but so many people will see this, or when they got this pin, they assumed that this was this pin, it was like a coin in this, in that this number was theirs now.
Yeah.
And so they would grab it. Oh, I grabbed, or they were going to grab it so they could move it. Cause that's what typically we think of if we find a coin in a cache, which is rare nowadays. Yeah. You grab it. So you it's in my possession. And then I kept pulling it back because like, no, that number is not to be put in. But anyway, that was my own mess up. But
that had to do with collectible or not, and that falls under the trackable shenanigans that we're not going to get into tonight. But there's a bunch of them.
That's probably multiple shows.
One of Jesse's favorite, and I probably haven't gone and looked, but I'm sure my trackable from something is stuck in some location in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's a trackable etiquette thing, right? Like for some reason, HQ allows these weird, quirky things to happen, like trackables will be dropped into earth caches and virtuals, and people to steal other people's trackable numbers. And Charles Pathfinder 33 got me. I was at an event and I picked up, because you buy stuff when you're at an event, right? I bought a name tag and it's got my name on. I got to put my name on, put on it. I didn't think about activating it, so Charles stole it. He activated it for me.
That's funny.
He adopted it out to me later, but I was like, "Man, come on."
Yeah.
So there's
still in the virtual cache.
Yeah, that's right. That's a whole nother show that we should do. We definitely should do that show. Just shenanigans and what you can and should not do.
Yeah, because I did one. I've told all the story. We'll save the full story. But when geocaching did this spoof on, they put caches in the middle of the ocean. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or they put them in outer space. April Fool's one. They stuck in the middle of nowhere, and I moved one of my trackables to it, and I won't reveal what happened, but we'll do that some night.
So we better get back on task, or we're gonna be out, right. And we can't run late because we're all going to Cache Fest tomorrow. So
yeah,
we're all waking up early.
Yeah.
So I guess really to close, before we close this one part of the topic out, Ryan, we've listed a few different main things, but one that we didn't talk about was a personal coin, and I think that's, and I'll let you jump on that one because I know you're way further down the road than we are, but I think that's another big category and one of the things that people listening are be interested in is probably not as much of an event, but the personal coin.
A personal is sort of interesting.
Mm-hmm. Personal coins kind of what one of the starts of the Geocoin. Everybody knows one of the most famous personal coins is the mountain bike coins,
right?
Which I have 2 of them now, but they're not.
That's awesome.
So the personal coin, and you can go into different sections in that because you have your personal trackables and your personal untrackables. Right. And there are people out there who collect both of them. I know quite a few of them. There's databases out there of all the non-trackables, databases of all the trackables. It's easier to keep track of the trackable ones, but people keep track of all of them. So a personal one is, and I will have mine sometime, is just your own name, or I guess you could go organization, but use this name. And what happened from that was people started doing other smaller things, and we can go into a thing of what products you're going to produce. Because that's where path tags came in, because you can get your personal path tag with your name on it for a lot cheaper.
And I think part of what you've got to think about too is, like, let's just boil it down because we won't be able to get far tonight, right? But just the personal coin alone, I think one of the most important things before you worry about production cost and all that other stuff is, what do you want to do with it, right? Because there's a lot of like Jeff he's got his the bingo challenge, and he's out of his own pocket, he's decided to make a personal coin, and anybody that completes the whole thing, which it's super hard, is why he can do that, right? He's going to personally give them one of those coins. So if you're doing something to mark a milestone or one of your caches or whatever, you need to think about it because there's a lot of cost to it. Or if it's something that you hand to somebody personally because they're a friend of yours, and because coins cost money, and I'm sure we'll talk some about cost or whatever if we get to tonight or the next one or whatever, but you got to decide what you're willing to do with it. And, if that's just one you're going to hand to your friends and then track their adventures, or, hey, I have this super cache that's at the top of a mountain and you have to skydive to it and, fight fires and bears, so only a few people get it, I'm going to hand it to them when we go. So think about or if it's just, hey, I want to trade this for other people's personal coins. Think about what you're going to do with it before, and it'll make you a lot happier before all the other stuff we're going to talk about. So decide, like, I just want to see him go out in the wild. That's great. Like Doug did, right? He saved them, but Doug McRae did the Miss Pac-Man coins, but he made a small run and he gives them to certain people for certain causes, and that's all he does with them. But he decided that ahead of time. That's why he's happy with what he's done. Yeah, there's the coin right there.
He's got the, I got that too somewhere here. Where is it? Oh, well, I had them. It's on my desk. My desk is a mess right now.
Oh, you don't even want to see my room. I just pulled the Glowforge out earlier. So,
as people have already commented, mine's pretty empty. I'm not being held hostage anywhere.
Just moved there.
I just moved, and I haven't got the room set up yet. So this is it. It's just.
It reminds me of blink twice if you're in danger, Jess.
I know.
Yes, blink twice. Thank you. Yes. So I think we would all agree, right, that the path tag is the most common personal trackable.
Yeah.
But again, purpose makes a difference in which way you go, right?
Sure.
You can't track a path tag on the map somewhere.
Right. Oh, there you go. That's we
on
showed
the
that
map.
earlier.
Yeah,
That's really cool.
but-
That's different.
Oh, that's not the app you're talking about?
right.
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Ryan,
Geocache
would
ones
you,
there.
just for people that may be newer to it, would you give the basic difference between a path tag and a geocoin?
So, the major difference, and I will pull my path tag out of here. So, the major difference is trackability, like you're saying. So, when I bought this path tag, I bought it right before Geo Woodstock down in Fort Worth, and I provided him extra money. So, path tag does that for mega events and different organizations. So this path tag here has a code on it, and it's engraved just like any geocoin. I don't know if you can actually see the engraving, but every path tag I got has that code on it. So you can go onto pathtags.com and say that you've discovered this path tag. But with a geocoin, so I have two geocoins here, exactly the same. Same finish, same everything. But like a car, and I'm not going to show you the tracking code because this one's available for sale. Like a car, it has its own license plate. So when it comes to geocoins, currently it's still a 6-digit code. When you actually create the path or create the coin, you can pick the first 2 letters. So, like Mingo Madness,
if available, right? MM, yeah.
MM was for Mingo Madness. There's some groups. My light up badges are all LBs if you buy a tracking code from me, because I bought actual tags from HQ or codes from HQ. So the difference between in a Reader's Digest version, the difference is the trackability. So you're actually tracking one coin when it comes to a geocoin, but you're tracking a version when it comes to a path tag.
So it's kind of reverse of each other.
Yes.
And a path tag is intended, when somebody gets a path tag, they're intended to keep that.
Yes. It's a path tag, more of a swag item.
There's yours, Ryan.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I think it is. And people get confused too, by the way. I think y'all have all seen where somebody will go, "Oh, do I have to move this path tags to some other cache?" And you're like, "Well, you can, but you don't have to." It, the very famous back of there was some. It was an original back, I think, wasn't it, Ryan, where they said something in fact that you could keep it. This is,
Yes. So
that's
most
one
of
the generic.
because their actual motto is the people we meet or something like that, or people we meet or cross paths with or something to that effect.
Yeah. So, but unfortunately, some people treat coins like path tags. You're not supposed to keep them, but sadly, a lot of them get kept when you're not supposed to.
And just as I know, I've been showing a lot of coins. These are all my personal coins. I have way too many. If you ever need coins, reach out to me. Somebody said buy. So,
right. That's crazy. Yeah. But do you think it's going to become more, I wouldn't say fashionable. I think it's become more common for folks to make their own coin, or do you think it's still, because cost is always a factor?
Cost is a factor.
Yeah.
When you look at a coin, you have to buy a mold for this coin.
Right.
And when your biggest costs come in, and I'll throw any coin up there.
We'll get Tony's question in a second. That's a good one.
So make sure we didn't miss that one.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
we'll get to that. That's a good question, Tony.
And you're actually buying the mold for both sides. So you're looking about $150 just for that mold.
Right.
So that's before anything is produced.
Hey, Ryan, before we even get into the cost of it, because I think I don't think we'll even make it to that in the show. I really think, well, I mean, it is like this is too much important information, right? And because we're keeping these to time now, I think really we don't need to gloss over before you even get into any of the nuts and bolts. It's really the philosophy behind what you're doing, because it is a cost, right? It's a good cost to it. Decide first why you want to do this, and then you can decide whether, what's your price point, what it's going to be worth it or whatever. But like you just mentioned, you do have to know that if you're getting rid of these coins and you're putting them out in the wild, there's going to be a certain percentage of them that aren't going to make it back. They're not going to make what you want them to happen. So you have to be okay with that. Right. And like you just said, molds, every design that you do, before you even get into what the details are, you have to think about that adds to cost, or like Tony said, the shape, size, every one of those things changes your production and everything else. So you really have to decide what kind of investment you're going to do and what the goal of it is, right? If it's just to be pretty, you can do a lot of different things.
Oh, yeah.
If you want people to put it in a book and be their favorite thing, it's going to have to fit in their book, because not every one of these is a circle. We've been showing a bunch of circles, but Ryan was playing with a little hat earlier, and that's not a circle right there.
No.
So Tony's question was, what is the average size coin? And that's kind of what we were getting at, is we can show you 15 different sizes. There is no normal size. If you're talking about the old, like Gary's showing, the 2-inch circle coin.
Yeah. That's kind of common, Tony,
kind of common and normal, but nowadays I wouldn't even say that's the norm anymore.
No. Well, and we got to look back at the basics of the Geocoin.
Mm-hmm.
So a Geocoin came out of a challenge coin. So a challenge coin is where you have your military and law enforcement have them, and a lot of your different organizations. They have, if I would thought about it, I brought them up. I have a whole cup of them. Your challenge coins.
Thank you for service, by the way.
Yes.
But what they do is they give them to people for when they achieve things or just excellence, and when you do things that deserve it. So when you start with that, the original ones were about that 1.5 to 2 inch.
Okay.
But that has blown up just as bad as the Geocoins. My last deployment coin that we had was a 4-inch shield.
Oh, okay.
So same way that the Geocoin we have anywhere, and this one may touch Memphis a little more at home there.
Yeah, that's
there. You go. That's a pretty good size one too. I love that coin. That's
like a belt buckle.
It's a weapon.
It is a weapon because it's got the things on the side.
But it has the climbing axis too, and the ice axis or whatever hanging off of them. And I think just like Ryan's saying with the challenge coins, they started off as standard size, but you want your coin to stand out. So you add different things to it, whether it's a spinning wheel or it gets bigger and bigger. Or I remember, I think it was Geocoin Fest in Nebraska. One of their coins was a barn with opening doors.
Oh,
obviously that's not reminiscent of a challenge coin, right? That's like a gadget. That's something completely different.
Right.
Or
there's been ones with like
the following one.
Yeah.
Which is Coin Fest in St. Louis.
Right.
There you go.
Which
it came apart. Oh, okay.
It
right.
opens. So it's
it opens.
A vault that opens.
Yeah, it's a
vault door that opens. That's wild.
So yeah. I think originally you could answer the question of, if you're asking 10 years ago, the average coin would have been a little 2-inch coin.
Probably
a circular 2-inch coin, but I don't think there's not a standard anymore. Anything that you can do that you're willing to, like, I don't think we can talk about some things, but there's some things in production that are the opposite of a 2-inch coin that we can't talk about that, right? We can't talk about.
We actually showed it. We showed it in the last coin talk. The one behind me, that the one where the Geocache talk, the new coming soon Geocache talk.
So I know,
but I mean, it's the opposite of a 2-inch coin, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And there's a question in the chat room there from Direwolf about a slug with a tracking code. If you're just getting a slug with a tracking code, it's going to cost you that tracking code and however much it costs to get engraved.
Yeah.
So you can go as there's actually a gentleman in California who actually makes his own coins.
Interesting.
And that could be for another show because I don't have it with me. But he actually melts the metal, makes the mold, and makes his own coin.
That's cool.
That's not your normal thing to happen, though.
Not a normal thing.
So having said that, again, you know, you can buy. Well, I don't know. Can you still buy trackable codes as a regular person?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you buy trackable codes. You could write that on a piece of paper and hand it to somebody.
Yep.
But that's kind of not what we're talking about, right? We're talking about producing a geocoin. Yes, you could stamp something in or carve something into a wooden nickel, or, you know, there's a lot of things you could do. Would it count as a trackable? It would. But I think we're kind of really thinking about like the one that you're going to put time, money, and investment into making a really pretty, because what you're really doing is making a little piece of art.
Yeah.
You know, nothing's wrong with the other one. I've got one on my leg. I've got one on all kinds of trackable stuff. Those are all fun trackable stuff. But, you know, we're talking about the little piece of art that you make. And that, you know, if you've made a personal coin, anybody that I know that's made a personal coin, they were super proud of it.
Oh, yeah. Everybody, I know I have a couple personal coins in here. It's just every time I open up a different box, I have, well, a whole bunch of memories. And that's what I collect the coins for, is not just because they're pretty and I like them, which most of them are pretty cool looking. But most times it's memories. It's who is it from? I know a lot of people who have created geocoins. My passion is geocoins. That's kind of why I hosted a Geocoin Fest.
Right.
I talked to a lot of geocoin producers. And then, like I said, we could go into a lot of onesie twosies because like this, that was a part of it.
Yeah. There's a lot of unique ones out there. That's
that's the thing too. Do you want to do a coin or do you want to do something unique? That depends on what you want to do with it.
Well, and that ring there was an addition to a mystery coin, which is another totally different thing.
Right.
But here's a personal coin from a gentleman in Nebraska, Geojuke. Speaking of Nebraska's Coin Fest, he was on the committee for that.
Yep. Very cool. And it's like almost like not a guitar pick, but it's a triangle.
It's a triangle.
Kind of cool. I like the shape of that. That's unique.
His was pretty basic.
Ultimate unique, but still very cool. Yep. Yeah,
very
that's
pretty.
Nice.
And then I know I have his new coin somewhere, but it again, they all grow up. I'm trying to keep an eye on all the questions coming into the chat room.
No, I'm with you.
With coin displays, I know we've talked about that being another totally different topic.
Mm-hmm.
That is an interesting thing though, because I'm at a point where I've got an issue with behind me in that I got too many for my display. And Tony was talking about, I have a display I bought. Actually, it's supposed to be a challenge. Oh, put it in a bin. But it was a challenge coin military. I bought it from a military website, and so it's got felt, I guess, runners inside of it, and so the coins can basically whatever size coin. Yeah, that's one way to do it. Yep.
Yeah, that's a nice one there.
Yeah, that's a nice one, but he's got giant ones in there. So,
well, those are all the lackey coins.
oh, that's right. Yep. Yeah.
So you had to hold, because
Now, how do they fit in? How do they stay in place, or is it just a shelf?
So they're shells with little grooves in it. And
okay.
If you
Like
want to who was asking a question about making it?
Right.
Tony, from the sounds of it, Tony's gonna be there this week.
Yeah, he will.
Me, I can show you. I can tell you a couple ways to make them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of them.
I think the display brings up a good question too, right? Though, when you're making your coin, do you want it to end up into somebody's display, or do you want it to travel the world?
Yeah.
And I think that's a big difference in how you design that coin based on those two things, right?
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I don't have it, Kendall. You know that.
I am curious to know how many people want their. Well, that's the question, Jesse. Is the fact that I don't think coins nowadays can travel the world. Don't you agree?
I don't know, and I've been wanting to make my own personal coin for quite a while, and I keep changing my mind on designs. Now, I want to do what I've seen other people do, and other people have done for me. I have a big collection of coins, right? And each one of them are cool. No, I take that back because Ryan's in the room. I have a small collection of coins for this group,
right?
But compared to like normal people,
right,
I have a lot of coins in here, in my collection, right? But there's like 4 of them that I have, and I'm not going to mention whose they are. But that person made one limited run of these personal coins and walked up to me and handed me this coin. And they said, we're friends. I want you to have this coin. I'd love for you to keep it. You do whatever you want to do with it, but I'd love to see, like kind of take it to mountains or whatever, whatever the thing was. Those coins to me are one of those that are really special because there's a very limited group of people that have those coins, right? And they don't talk about it in public or anything like that. That's what I want to do. So I'm not going to put that in. I'm not putting mine in a cache.
Right.
I'd hand one to you two guys, obviously. And I wouldn't hand them to that many people, and you wouldn't find them in the wild. I want to, just like a challenge coin, like I have from law enforcement, and Ryan has a bunch from the military. I want to hand that to somebody. That's my personal thing that I want to do. That's not what everybody wants to do, but that's the target I want. So that's why I have taken so long to do the process we're talking about tonight, because I want it to be exactly what I want. I'm going to do one limited run, and that's it. When I'm done with those, I guess I go play hockey or something after that. I don't know what I'm going to do another sport, but I'm going to, go do that's. So for me, it's not just like, hey, this is my 2022 coin and I'm done. I want to do one personal limited run and do it. So it takes a while to design that.
And even mountain bike was that way. His original coins, he does it the same way you're talking about. The easiest way to get a mountain bike coin is to make a exact trade, a personal coin for a personal coin. He will also give some coins out for excellence, I guess the easiest way to say it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Bounce has one. It's what you do for the community.
Yes.
Right. That's how you get his coin. Sorry, I'm saying I'm a lot. So
no. I mean, we've had mountain bike on before too, and it's
and that's the thing.
Fascinating.
His coins are very, very well known.
Yeah, they are.
If you look at his first edition up to his, I think he's on his 6th edition now. His numbers have multiplied probably by 2 or 3, just because he knows that people want that coin.
Right.
And I'm the same way. I am going to make a coin just to tell you with this path tag here.
Right.
I had the money sitting in my path tag account for 3 years before I finally came up with a design
That you like, right?
that fit me.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows me usually knows I have a Dr. Pepper somewhere near me. And that's why my logo looks like a Dr. Pepper.
That's perfect.
So, hey, one category I want to bring up, and I know we can talk about anything we want to, but HQ has some official things they talk about, but they work with Snag the Tag, so I think that's safe to bring up. Somebody brought up Snag the Tag. Jeff brought up Snag the Tag. Has got a lot of unique, and I don't know who was it. We don't talk about Snag the Tag a lot on here for years. Maybe it's time to talk about them again, but I got one of those recently, and I haven't gotten one since the original came out because I just don't hunt them. Other people hunt them. I found a couple myself.
Right.
They make some really unique coins, but it's a different type of coin altogether.
Yeah,
it's something completely different, but it's within this game, and it's okay to talk about in this game. But I think it's fair to talk about that because people can get involved with that as well.
Yes. So for those that don't know, didn't see it, Snag a Tag is another game within the game. It's a giant FTF hunt. So different geocachers will buy a tag, and the way they do it, because I've been a part of almost every one of them, they'll buy a tag and they'll hide it somewhere. And they've done anywhere from, I'm trying to remember all the ones they've done. The agents, secret agent, you hit a little.
Yep.
The current one, you hide a little.
Mammoth?
No, the Mammoth one was a couple. That was
in between
version 1.
Okay.
So they actually worked with HQ to do it. A lot of mega events are starting to do them. I know Geocoin Fest here in Kansas City did one, and we did 100 coins. And but they do a lot of different and like you said, they're very unique. The Wizard one's another one that sold out really quick. That's one I did. The UFO one, I'm looking at the chat popping up.
Owen mentioned the UFO, right?
I think they just went on sale.
Okay. So that's current, right? So
yes,
UFO.
that one actually hasn't even started yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And this is Snag the Tag is different than Pat Tags and Geocoins. They're all 3 different kind of categories, right?
Yes. So
Bigfoot last year was one that was cool.
Yep. So what happens is you hide a tag. The person will hide a tag, and it will have a code on it. And that code there is your redemption code for an actual coin. Yeah. So the person that's hiding it is buying their set of tag and coin, but they're also paying for your coin.
A coin, right.
Yep.
So you're guaranteed a coin if you buy one, obviously.
Yes. And the honeypot is a new one that's going on.
Oh, honeypot.
Going to Memphis, you will have an opportunity to pick up probably, I would say, maybe one of each version.
Cool.
Because I know people that's going there and going to have some.
Right.
So Ryan, I know we're hitting to the last minute here, and I know we've really basically the only thing we've been able to cover is know about your intention and like these different categories of what you're going into, right? So does Snag the Tag fit the category? Like if a group, like say an organization, wanted to partner with Snag the Tag, they could make a coin if they wanted to, right? Or can they not do that?
So the Snag the Tag, just a little more history of it. It started out with 8 mega event.
Oh, okay.
So they would hide 8 tags throughout the state of Washington, and you go to the mega event to claim the tag or claim the coin.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, you could work with those up at Snag a Tag to create it. Like I said, we did our version for Geocoin Fest. We went a little bit different. We bought the thing is you're buying codes from Snag a Tag and from HQ.
Oh, okay.
So there's costs compared to everything. I'm trying to
right.
That's actually the tag for our Snag a Tags we did for CoinFest.
Oh, the T-Rex. Okay.
Yep.
You're showing the T-Rex for our audio listeners, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry for the audio listeners. I've been showing a lot.
That's okay. That's okay.
Look back and watch.
Yeah.
I know you said it's it is only the second Geocoin Talk, and I think just proves to you that there's a lot of topics we can talk about.
There are. We haven't even got into the coin designers, although we're going to have Chris Mackey on next time.
Yeah, I kept that one on our notes. We didn't get through the first point that we really had on our notes.
Well, there's a lot to it, right? Because it's a big personal investment. We're not just talking about, hey, go find one. If you're really going to get into coins, there's a lot you need to think about before you ever pay one single dime. And by coins, we mean any kind of trackable, because we've covered several types of trackables tonight.
That's one thing too, as we start to get to the end here, is make, sort of a gateway maybe into coin is go make a path tag. There's
The cost is way less for sure.
Cost way less. They're basically about $1 a coin. Would you say, Ryan, about $1 a coin?
$1 a tag.
Yeah, but $1 a tag for path tags. You have to. I think initially you have to buy 100, right? Is that the initial? I think the minimum is 100.
100.
Yeah. And
if you, for cost comparisons, remember just to buy a tracking code on HQ, it's $1.50.
Right. So, and you can buy them in bulk or whatever, know. So real fast, the thing about them is, and we'll probably get into this more the next time, but with path tags or coins, you need to see the artwork that comes out before you just sort of green light the whole thing. So even on path tags, when you design a path tag and you give either pathtags.com or wherever you're going with, whatever it is, you give them the information or you give them your artwork and you say, I want to make this tag. Give me the sort of a spec or give me the artwork. Yeah, there's that one's. What are you showing there, Ryan? What's that one? Oh, I bought a damn Geocoin at CoinFest, and it's okay. It's not like
it's DAM, by the way.
DAM. Yeah.
So don't censor us out. Right. iTunes or whatever else.
Kind of like Boulder Dam, but anyway. So to finish my point real fast, which is when I got the artwork back, it was not right at all. I had people's picture. I had my picture and I had Michael Miller, who we were on CacheFest, Cache and Release together. And when it came out on the path tag, it didn't look right at all. So we abandoned that whole project. It was like, no, we can't make that. That doesn't look good at all. So check your artwork. But yeah, I think path tags is a good place to start. But coins, I think, go ahead, Jesse. I was going to say coins are a good way to jump in after that.
Yeah, I was going to piggyback off you. So I would start with path tags, just like Gary's saying. Then maybe get into coins just to get your practice in, but get your artwork right. But not even just your artwork, right? Like we talked about tonight, there's tons of different directions to go.
Yeah.
But take your time. Don't rush it. Don't wait till 4 weeks before some event you're going to. Right. Take your time, because just like we've always talked about before, like your first geocache that you put out.
Right.
This is probably your first path tag or coin that you put out. Take your time and put out something you're going to be proud of. It's worth the effort on the front to be super proud of it for your lifetime to come. Think about what you want to do with it, what you want it to convey, and double check, triple check, make sure everything's right. So when you finally release it, it's something you're super proud of, and you're not like, oh man, I got the pooch on that one. So
yeah. So next time, not the next show, but the next time we do Geocoin Talk, we will be talking more about design, how to find a designer. How much a designer costs. I'm sure Chris will share his costs. He is available from time to time, depending on his projects. He is available. There are others that are also available that can design coins or path tags.
Yep.
We had a coin designer I never used before. I think D had used them before, but the path tags, and they're on here if you happen to see them, but I've got some of the path tags from CacheFest already, and I put them in there, but they turned out, I think they turned out tremendous. They really are nice. And, it's something that you want to think about is, finding a designer. You want to try it yourself, do like I did and messed it up and had to go to somebody else. So, anyway, so that's coming up on another show soon. Final thoughts, I guess, from you, and that's my final thought. So Ryan and Jesse, I let y'all have your final thought.
I will defer to Ryan. I've pretty much said what I was going to say. I think there's too much to talk about in this one show.
There is.
And I'm just super excited because as soon as this is over, I'm in cash fest mode. So I'll be honest, when this shuts, I'm packing and going to cash fest. So.
Yeah, me too. Final pack tonight and leaving in the morning. So
and then make sure we do the trackable shenanigans show, and then I'm happy with everything we've done tonight.
Right, we'll do that too sometime. Go ahead, Ryan. What was we'll let you have the last.
I'm the same way. I can talk about coins and trackables forever. So reach out and ask somebody. I'm always available to give you my opinions, and I will see people as soon as you show up in Memphis.
There's the pink Cadillac. In some show, we'll talk about how you can get approval to have signal on your coin. There's the black one. Very limited, by the way, on the black one. I can show the back because there's no trackable because this is the sample.
Yep.
So, but there's the back of signal. You don't see the back of signal very often on a coin. So, or his signal fluttering in the breeze. So, but we'll cover that some night. But that's for another show. And that's the end of this show. So again, we will see everybody who's going to Cash Fest. We will see you guys soon. We know many were unable to go, but we hope to see you down the road soon. And there you go. Again, thanks. And we'll see you guys hopefully soon, or we'll see you next time. Take care.
Good night.
Good night.
May your finds be many and your DNFs be few. May the terrain and difficulty both be less than 2. And whatever it is you're looking for, may it find its way to you. And may we all meet again.
Folks, we hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please email us your comment at geocachetalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. The show can be found on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Radio Public, or Spotify, as well as at the Geocache Talk website. Don't forget to click that subscribe button below and ring that bell notification so that you can see and hear the show on a weekly basis. And tell your friends about the show. Get them involved with us in the chat room. And until next week, don't just talk about geocaching, go geocaching.